queue, guys.
We are back with the Thrustmaster 12 hours of Interlagos here at Race Department. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but who doesn't have technical difficulties over here in the whole web world? Jesus, that was... I almost fumbled up the words because that's 4 W's, not 3 W's. And for a Brazilian, it is easy to fumble up words. But my name is Lorenzo Bonder. I'm here on the broadcast booth with Mr. Simon Smith.
Hello, 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 everyone. Good to be back and back and back and back and back.
And we are with 1/3 of the Yashi RMI Motorsports team and a fellow broadcaster as well, right, Magnus?
Hello.
So if you guys are wondering, there is only one DNF on the list over here, which is Nicolo from Fabri, which was from F50 Corsa. He had some issues. I think his R Factor 2 crashed, probably. But it's still in the race, but he's in the pits right now. But first place right now is Johan Hart from Drillers Motorsports, still in first place. Second place goes to Kevin Ryan. Third place to the next Marta. Pablo Flores is actually headed to the pits at this right moment. James Wilson is in fifth place. Sixth place goes to Eduardo Del Rincon. Seventh place goes to Mark Breland. Eighth place to Daniele Pizzo. The ninth place goes to Sharon Vandersloot. And rounding out your top 10 is Maciej Mionek. Or Minek. Oh, I gotta get that name right or wrong someday. I'm just gonna keep trying. But nevertheless, that's your lead. That's your top 10 for the GT, for the prototype cars. I'm gonna go to the GT cars. First place is Michael Reiter. Second place goes to Alex Arcella. Third place goes to Carpistoza. Fourth place goes to Christian Moreau. Fifth place goes to Alvaro Baker. Sixth place goes to Michael Sedlacek, which is battling right now Joseph Wright, which is being lapped down. Ooh, nearly a dangerous move by Michael. But Joseph Wright is indeed. He's in 7th on the GT class. 8th in class goes to Enzo Fazzi. 9th place goes to Peter Hummel, which is pitting right now. 9th place goes to, and running out of the top 10 is Claudio Barrera. My bad. We're just getting our bearings straight once this problem on the stream happened, but that's part of sim racing, people. Welcome to sim racing.
Indeed, there was a couple of things that happened whilst you was away. Nothing huge up on the top of anything that was been going on, so don't panic. You've not missed cracking action everywhere. However, there was a couple of big off-track moments. One, or the biggest one of the lot, was for Sergio Mengual, who is running last, sadly, at the moment, with his number 10 car. Not number 10 car, is number 104, Racing Club Enterprise. He took off down at turn 1 in the Center S and went for an amazing flying, jumping, bouncing act, and then carried on going. It was really, really nice. But he proceeded to demolish all of the advertising boards down there. So if you're seeing a little bit of carnage down at the back end of the Center S, that was all caused by Sergio, all on his own as well. So yeah, decided to go for play.
Cool, and just to let you know, it's Joseph Wright, which is our fellow streamer, is in the pits right now. He's just done with tire change. That means Enzo Fazzi overtakes Joseph Wright for 7th place in the GT class, and as always, we are very, very sorry for what happened in the stream, but it happens. If you're liking the action thus far, follow us on Twitch and or on YouTube as well. keep yourself up to date with club races and everything on RaceDepartment.com. And if you want to sign up for the league, find a team and else, please don't forget to give us that follow also RaceDepartment.com. And Roy and Simon, what are your takes from this nearly 4 hours into the broadcast?
Roy, go for it, mate.
Well, I go for it. Well, I've been out on the circuit as well. The traffic hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be. It seems that everyone has been dialing in for a full 12-hour race rather than a 20-minute sprint. Though that is, of course, not without any exceptions. We haven't had that many cars that has left the race either. We had one now when we was off air with Nicolo Fabri, the 116 Aston Martin, who disconnected and has tried to rejoin but left again. There is something going on with that Aston Martin at the moment.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that car is having some major difficulties with probably connections or R Factor 2. It's really interesting. We could get an information from Nicolo. I could try to ask him later. I just was looking at the chat. Someone saying Wilson.
That'd be David Junt.
Yeah, that was David Junt. Yeah, David Junt just doing the Tom Hanks Wilson chant. Boy, the world sim racing is a funny world.
But 26 and 27 overall, are they close together?
Yeah, that's a staff battle. That is actually Joseph Wright and Noli Amadius Mirvold. In a staff battle, there goes Mirvold on the inside into La Regina and overtakes Joseph Wright. But Joseph wants blood back. He wants to recover that blood. And is doing his best to try to overtake Marius, but he has a prototype car which is lapping them down.
Oh, and on the outside there, that's not a good place to be.
Yeah, outside, you don't want to overtake you on the outside. That outside throws your car off rather easily. But we have to remind that Joseph recently pitted his car, so it's natural that his tires haven't kicked in properly still. And also that he has a much filled car than Marius, so it's good to see from the English driver that he's actually managing to keep in contact with the Norwegian driver in Mirvold.
Absolutely.
It's also quite interesting that Barrera is only a few seconds up the road as well. So actually, the back end or the middle clutches of the GT class are still really quite compact in their own little separate little mini tier groups, but they are still running in groups together. So that's going to keep us plenty of spice as we move into the third and fourth hours of this specific race. We're coming to the we're into hour 4 now. Sorry.
Yeah, we still have eaten a little bit more than 8 hours and 30 minutes ago. Sorry, I sneeze. But we have around 8 hours 39 minutes left in this session, and drivers are getting used to already putting their pace. And Eduardo just nearly went into a dangerous situation. Some driver in the Junção went completely wrong on the exit over there. We have people joining the room, and that's our very own Brim Hagenveld. And he's just left. He's too shy to speak.
Bram doesn't go on air very often. He's a secret squirrel.
Yeah, he's a secret squirrel. Yeah, that is true.
Just making sure that everything is working for us again. So a couple of drivers did swap around whilst we was off air briefly. So it's worthwhile just giving them a shout out because I like to make sure that everyone gets their name on the stream. So welcome Peter Hummel down in 29th place. Welcome to the grid in one of the many orange and black cars. Roy and I were just commenting on this, that clearly orange and black are the new black and the new Prince's clothes because there's so many
Oh
of
my
them out there.
gosh.
Do we think that it's because McLaren have gone to orange and everyone's just gone quick?
No, but let me just wonder if they were with McLaren, wouldn't they be slower than they usually are?
Oh, meow, meow. I like it. Kitty claws.
No, I'm just joking. Oh, we have a driver going off on the Senna S. That's. Let me just check who that is. Someone just nearly just went off like really heavily on the exit, but on Senna S. But that happens. Welcome to sim racing.
Car number 18, KRT Racing. They are swapping drivers right now. I think now it's a pit stop. But Tom
It's a
Lambert.
pit stop. Tom Lambert is actually pit stopping right now. Tom is a very known driver around the GT3 area in iRacing, making his appearance here at RaceDepartment at the Vesaro RaceDepartment Le Mans series. We have another driver. We have Peter Munkholm joining us here on the broadcast. But how are you doing, Peter?
Now I'm doing great.
So, man, take us through, man. You did sing your car. I'm trying to find where you are. Oh, you were driving the 110 bit racing. How's your team pronounced? I know bits. I work with IT.
I don't even know because it's binary. So I guess it will be 11000.
All right.
Error.
Error.
Yeah.
Bam.
It's 24 in binary.
Yeah, I know. The 24-bit racing then. But you were doing stints earlier today. Take us through. How'd you feel about your stints?
Now I feel great. While I was driving, I wasn't feeling so good. I have two kids and a wife at home at the moment, so I had to close the door into his room, and then it gets extremely hot. I think it was about 50 degrees C. When some of my teammates managed to contact my girlfriend through Facebook Messenger and tell her, you need to go down and open up a window.
Poor man. But did your girlfriend save you in the end of days?
Yeah. So I had about
right.
the last 20 or 15 minutes with some cold air coming in.
All right, that is good then. At least crisis has been averted.
Yeah.
But your team is doing really good thus far. Your team is third in the class, third in the GT class. You guys are Casper Stolza right now is taking over the reins of your car. He's doing some really good laps compared to our Alex Arcella. Very similar pace, but he's keeping in touch. Was that the plan all along for you guys to drive and aim for a top 3, maybe a win spot, or you guys were more realistic and aiming something like top 5, top 10, or attempt 10, or maybe just finish the race?
The plan is to just finish the race, but if we can finish that in the top 3, it wouldn't hurt. But we have no goals for position. We're just driving this for fun, and mainly as preparation for a 24-hour race in Denmark coming up later on this year.
Well, man, Simon, do you have any questions, or Roy, do you have any questions to our guests on the broadcast?
Well, no, I'm usually just sitting back and letting the more fluent English people do the interviews.
So we're gonna pass our time to our more English native speaking interviewer, which is Simon.
I was going to say, oh, is that me? I'm not sure. Yeah. So, I guess, how is the traffic out there at the moment? Roy was just saying that actually it wasn't as bad as what it is, but you're right in the thick of it, having to deal with all kinds of stuff. So, how has it been for you, Peter?
I started, was it third or fourth last, and then drove my way up through the field and handed the car over in second position in the class. And so I think, yeah, I had all the levels of it. The guys in front in the LMPs are really, really great at committing themselves to a line and just getting by. But the guys at the bottom, I'm not going to say anything really bad about them, but they need to practice, and they need to learn to commit to a line and then do it. Also, I've had, and I just heard from Casper that he's been having trouble that, when the LMP cars try to take you on the outside before the hairpins, they tend to kind of forget that the GT car is still there, and they just close in and smack the door on people. And they can't do that because there's still a GT car there. I know I had one off because of that. But other than that, I think other than the first 2 laps, it's been pretty okay.
See, faith has been restored. We're okay, and there's nothing wrong with people having to go and practice and sort themselves out. So no, that makes me happy as Michael Reiter pops into the pits for All Stars in the GT. Actually, pits a bit too early, had to reaccelerate to get actually into his box. So that's that. I guess. Are you back in the car again, Peter?
Yes, I will be, but not for a while. We have 4 drivers, so I'm guessing I'm not in until kind of 5 hours from now, I think.
Okay, and what do you anticipate the track conditions will be different compared to driving in a nice sunny and cool afternoon?
No, I don't suspect so. I don't know what the time. You know what the time is in Brazil right now? Where you're getting the weather from?
2:30
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be started. The thing with Interlagos is that just after noon, when the sun is at the highest, that is the most probable time for rain to arrive. So right now is the time when it's most likely to rain, and it doesn't. So I'm not expecting rain.
Cool. Okay. Well, famous last words. Great little battle going on between 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Michael Reiter comes out behind them. You've got Alvaro Baker, Michael Saudelek, who's back in that car, and Christian Moreau isn't actually very much further up the road. They're having a good little squabble for 20, 21, 22. A couple of seconds between them, but it's some of the closest action that we've got out there on track at the moment. Who else just popped in now? I thought we had someone else.
That is that guy.
That guy.
Well, I'm going to be leaving you guys now. I just want to say thanks for creating this great broadcast, and also thanks on behalf of my 2-year-old son who's going, I want to see race cars.
That's awesome.
We will deliver him race cars. Well done. What's your little one's name?
His name is Jonathan.
Hey Jonathan, you're on telly. Woo, 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 woo.
And race cars has been delivered.
Yeah. See you guys. Take care.
Later, Peter. Thanks for joining, man. That was Peter Bunkholm from the 24-bit or 111000000 bit racing, which right now is actually our class leader for the GT cars. They have to stop, of course. P24. Oh, we have a crash with RMI involved.
Again? Oh.
Let me just check it out and see what happened. I'm looking at the replay.
Yeah.
I'll join all the
and then finish the job after. That's a shame. And then
Yeah,
Ollie
but what
decides to
happened
reverse
is,
into the barrier. That's never a good move, Ollie. Oh, poor
yeah,
guy.
but Oli just tried to go into the curve, and guy right behind him, which I think that was Sergio. No, that wasn't Sergio Mingo, but that was an Aston Martin, nevertheless. Just went into deep, and that was Alvaro Baker, which was about to overtake, but he was too impatient on the braking and didn't let Mirvolt to have the line. He didn't have the overlap, and eventually took Mirvolt out of the track. But now everything seems to be fine with Mirvolt. He's back on track, and still racing in 28th, 7th place.
It's good. It makes sense. Excuse me, that damage is turned down for this event, because sometimes you have some really unfortunate errors and problems that aren't really in your control. So it's good that we've got that all turned down. Over the last couple of minutes as well, Johan North has actually lapped James Wilson. So we've only now got 2 drivers on the same lead lap up at the very front in the prototype. So I thought that's worthwhile mentioning. Fabry did not get that going again, so we definitely do have 4 cars or teams out of the running. But still to have 32 going at this stage, I think is not too bad. I remember doing an RDLMS race a few years ago, and after 5 hours, we were down to, I think it was 7 teams left, because we just had a really, really awful time of it. So hats off to all the teams for being competent and running, and keeping us very much well amused with the petrol-headed fun.
Yeah, and we have a good battle for 4th place, as Matej Shuranak get the name. Oh boy, Pablo Flores, don't do that. That is dangerous. Oh my God, that is Argentinian driver driving at his best. Don't get me wrong. If Argentinian doesn't have credibility, just go and talk to Juan Manuel Fangio, which is just a 7-time world F1 champion, and Jose Maria Lopez, which is a 2-time or 4-time WTCC champion. So Argentinians have credibility in motorsports. They have big credibility, and they're showing over here as Pablo is dancing with his car, but managing to keep pace with Mate in RGPL racing. So this is brewing to be a very good battle for 4th place here.
The problem though is that Pablo, when he's overtaking people, he's putting wheels on the grass, and that car, it's like he's putting down the throttle slightly too early, because you can see the car bucking under acceleration out of some corners. So he's a little bit less stable than what Matej is. So he just needs to be careful of that, because if he goes for a move and then floors it in the excitement, he could well pitch himself into a bit of a spin.
Oh yeah, most definitely. There is always that risk, you know, you going off track and with those aggressive moves. But nevertheless, the Argentinian is keeping himself in track and managing to, even though with the dances that he's doing in the car, he's managed to keep pace as Gavin Ryan goes into the pits and preparing probably to do another stint on his if I'm not mistaken, that's his Gibson Judd car. I'm not going to say all P2 prototype cars, because one of the things that the Indy racers have is they have a big array of cars, and I cannot say all cars because I don't remember them all.
Just watching Pablo there is a little bit too skittish, just needs to calm that down. He's clearly got the same relative-ish pace to Serhanak, so he just needs to chill it out a little bit. I always think, especially if you're quite overexcitable, which I can be sometimes, when you get into the heat of battle, you start to lose the finesse and the fluidity that you can put into the steering wheel. So you end up jerking the car and getting a little bit too hot-headed on the acceleration or brake pedal. It just makes things a little bit rough around the edges. You start to lose time and pace. Although Serhanak making a big error coming around, that's caught the inside curb, got it sideways on a squiggle, still keeps 4th position, but that's kept Flores right into the heat of the matter as they come down the back straight. I don't know if Pablo will be able to have a go down. He's having a little look, but he's got Joseph right up ahead that they're going to lap in the I always find myself in the wrong spot green Corvette. But he's managed to get it passed in the right way, and I think
to
we're
break you,
status quo.
to interrupt you really quickly, as predicted, Alvaro Baker has got himself a drive-through penalty for hitting Marius Mirvold, Ole Marius Mirvold off track. So bad news for the Aston Martin of Baker, but who says thank you? Sedlacek and Reiter might be saying thank you because Reiter is actually approaching the start finish line and Alvaro is only halfway through on the start finish pits. So this could come down really to the wire, if anything possible.
And apologies for my excitement on the last thing. I was running 20 seconds on delay because I hadn't realised I'd put myself back to live from following Mirvold's crash. So apologies for that.
Whoops!
No wonder I sounded like a bit of a weirdo.
So right now we have no more cars in the in the same driver gravel. But we also have no more cars within the lead lap. The only one was Kevin Ryan, but with Kevin's pit stop, he is now a lap behind Johan Hart, which is on Junção, and basically showing that Drillers Motorsport is having an outstanding showing, flawless race thus far for this team, which is basically a relatively new team on our DLMS. I've never seen Drillers Motorsports before, but they're doing really good thus far. We still have around 23 minutes left within the third to fourth hour here at Interlagos for our Thrustmaster, 12 hours of Interlagos here at RaceDepartment.com. Those who just joined up the action, my name is Lorenzo Bonder. I'm with Simon Smith and Roy Magnuson on the commentary booth. Also in the cameras is Mr. David Van de Van. We have right now, as I said, Johan Hart in first place, Kevin Ryan in second, and third place is James Wilson. That's your top three for prototypes, and in GTs, dummy. I mean, accidentally, sort of. It's Capra Stolza in first place, Christian Moreau in second, and in third place is Michael Sidlacek, or I'm gonna get that name right either way, someday, somehow. And we have another issue. Enzo Fazzi has gone into the pit. That's not good for me.
Run.
And I'll be right back.
Sort that one out. Not to worry. So yes, plenty of action going on. Don't forget to send in your selfies, #RDLMS. If you send in a selfie with yourself and the broadcast stream in the same photo so that we know that you're watching, because clearly you want Lorenzo, Roy and myself to be
so
in on the TV.
Boys and girls of the world, let me just interrupt you really quickly. There might be a possibility I'm gonna have to stint or not. It depends on Enzo Fazzi. We just reconnected TeamSpeak, but if not, I will have to stint the car.
Whenever you say stint the car, I just think like you're taking it into hospital and you're going to perform an operation on it.
Oh, it's kind of like I'm gonna have to perform an operation on the car that is actually gonna have to adapt my driving wrecking style of wrecking on the wall. Maybe.
It should be Operation Drive Faster.
No, Operation Drive Safely.
Operation Checkered Flag.
Operation Avoid the Black Flag.
That would be a good one as well. We'll be doing Operation Takeaway Bingo later, along with Operation Selfie. Yes.
Yeah, I want to know how Operation Selfie is doing.
It's doing well, actually. We've had quite a few come through. The latest one came through from Robin, from @iZodiac but Robin, I think, is out on track at the moment, if he's not already out there now. But he's been cheering on Drillers and also has been using #RDLMS to scream at how excited he is that the Drillers are out front at the moment. So He's a happy bunny, but we've not had a selfie for a little while. So I need my selfie fix, people. Hashtag RDLMS. Send me a selfie and you could be in for a chance to win some Thrustmaster pedals. And they could certainly help you down at the CNRS, where a lot of people seem to be struggling very, very, very much. Davey X, or Dave X1983 in the chat. My father is sitting here watching the race with me. My mother's swearing because it isn't ready for going out with her yet. Clearly, see, we're more entertaining than the wife.
And and as said, let me just add it up. Number one, we did not ruin your family. Number two, if your dad is watching with you and not gonna watch your his wife, that is definitely not our problem. That might be the race is just too good. Number three, if anything goes south with your family or with your girlfriend or with
Watch
or
what
with
you're
your
saying.
parents, please don't contact me personally. Please contact Simon personally. He's actually trained in various methods of
Defense.
keeping himself in complete chill and defensive positions.
Please don't contact Lorenzo personally, send a hitman. I see Peter Hummel is driving around without a front clip on his Ferrari, by the way, guys.
Oh yeah.
What was that, Roy? Sorry?
Peter Hummel in position number 29 overall is driving without his front clip on the car.
Ooh.
Taking
And he was
aerodynamics to a whole nother level.
Yeah, and he was just in the pits as well. I don't know if he was involved in anything or if it just didn't refit it when he was in the pits. Oh, and Enzo Fazzi is also back onto the circuit.
Yeah, that's a relief to me. Woo!
You may stay a little longer.
Is he a bear, though? Is he a bear?
Sorry?
This is a very specific Sesame Street joke.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one.
Ah, boo.
I didn't catch the reference.
Fuzzy Bear. Do you know the Muppet?
Oh.
Fuzzy Bear the Muppet?
Oh my god!
Come on. I've not even started on the beer properly yet. Come on.
Oh, this is something I have to save for the final outside.
Oh Christ, yeah, when does this finish?
You should have saved this as a takeaway. At least you're saving the bingo for last.
Yes. But yeah, it's interesting actually now. The skies are definitely feeling darker. The track temperature has gone back. It stayed at 26 degrees all the way through, but ambient has gone up again. So clearly it's more visual than actually what's going on the actual track itself. It's also been really interesting that despite being that English commentator sounds too English. I'm so sorry. What do you want me to be like? Oh my god, you know what I mean? Oh my god. I'm from Essex, by the way. But what really surprises me is P12, my neck, doesn't actually been able to get his feeder car up any positions, but he's not dropped a further lap back. So I think he's thinking over the course of time that he'll be able to kind of pick up people and pick off people as he goes. Because I don't know, in my head, I really thought that they would be able to sort and catch out the drivers up ahead. And actually, the closest battle on track is between 10th and 11th, Nate Idens and Sherwin van der Sloot. So that'll be his next lot to go for.
You're hard. I was gonna mention that number one driver in the grid, Joran Hart, is actually pitting his car right now on the pit. But number two is actually the number 2 car of Kevin Ryan is having a lot of issues with traffic, and James Wilson lap by lap is actually catching up to Kevin Ryan. So depending, we might be able to see a 2-3 battle, a position 2-3 battle for the prototypes on this track. And and as Johan Hart is still in the pits, finishing his pit stop, might be having a driver swap. But as I'm noticing, the skies are getting darker and darker and darker with more carried out with clouds. Hashtag racing coming. Hashtag emotions. Hashtag shenanigans inbound.
Anyhow, guys, I will have to do my preparations before my next stint, so I will leave the booth for a couple of hours, and I'll be back when I'm handing the car over to someone else.
Good luck.
Good luck, my friend. And as I said, the team of drillers actually have Enric André into their car, as he just left the pits right now, just passing over the Descida do Lago, and rejoining the track, trying to make sure that his team stays in the lead. I'm still looking around. Alvaro Baker is in the pits right now, probably doing his pit stops. And I'm trying to look around the track to see if we got something brewing going on right now. We're looking lap by lap, place by place. And I'm gonna take the opportunity. Of course, we are approaching 4 hours of racing. We are with a little bit of 15 minutes over the 15 minutes left into this session. And I just received news that is quite bombastic for me, that I might have to take.
We're going to need to look at P2 and P3 right now, because James Wilson is all over the back of Kevin Ryan at the moment in the Atlantic car, crawling all over the Simtech. And I think Wilson has been reeling him in, but it didn't even take a lap to get past the 3-second board. So I don't know if Ryan just had a poor lap, and Andre's come out 47 seconds in front of them, so he's sorted for that. But the issue is going to be, where now will Wilson try and find the way through? Will he try and get it out from here? He's got a good exit out from Yuncao up the hill and round the ever-turning left-hander. I wonder if he'll have a go in the slipstream down at the centre S. Looks like he's not even going to wait for that. He pulls out from the inside, side-by-side across the line to start 157. And he's got in front before they even get to the corner. That's the difference. I wonder if it's on tyres as well as fuel and downforce or not, because that was like taking candy from a baby. Kevin Ryan did not even try to keep him behind. So I tell you what, Kevin Ryan will be shouting, "Wilson!" as he goes past. So yeah, good move, Mr. Wilson. Up in second for Atlantic.
Yeah. The Atlantic now in second place as James Wilson. James, I'm gonna be honest, I'm looking at James' times. He's been otherworldly in terms of pace compared to Kevin Ryan. Don't get me wrong, both drivers have been doing really good, but James has been consistently at least a second or two faster than Kevin Ryan. So it comes to no surprise that the English driver managed to catch up to the Simtech motorsports car and eventually pass him. And as you see, he's already opening up a gap. He's already have over a second on the Irish driver as Ryan fumbles up the exit of Junção. Sorry, the exit 2 times. The exit of Junção, he fumbles up, and we have Nate Idians on the pit lane.
I think the next thing that we need to look out for is what kind of times is Enric André, who's taken over that driller's car, what kind of times can he pull out? Because he's getting himself up to speed, so you've got to allow a lap or two for him to kind of get into the flow of things. But currently, James Wilson is closing him down by about a second a lap. So once Andre is up to full speed and full temperature, just to play off with the time. So I'll keep an eye on that, because if that gap continues to shrink, I'd keep James Wilson in that car for as long as possible, because he's clearly got the bit between his teeth and he's got that car set up to perfection for what he's wanting to do time-wise.
But I'm gonna be very honest. Let me look when the last pit. Adam pitted on the 30. Oh boy. Adam pitted on the 38th lap on his first stint. So, we have an issue. Enzo Fazzi and the one of the KRT cars. That is, yeah, we have an issue with the car on the exit of the Senna. Let's see what happened. That is not good for me as well, even though Enzo is about on the end of his stint.
Okay, I think we've got several different incidents going on at once. Ruben Clavero spun on his own.
No. Here's the thing. Enzo had probably a connection issue and crashed with the KRT car. So there's nothing the KRT car could do. So it was totally a race incident. But you were saying about James Wilson's pace. The gap right now is over 40 seconds. But here's the catch. James will have to pit eventually, so it's gonna be very soon because James' last pit was 28 laps ago, so it's only a matter of time for the British driver to go and pit this car.
So we've also got another driver issue with swapping here. So Nate Ideens is stuck in AI at the moment, which is a shame because he was battling at the edges of the top 10. So that team are clearly sorting out a driver slot and will get themselves sorted. But in the meantime, that's the first car, essentially, that the feeder team have picked off. So they're now up to 11th. And of course, now only 2 laps down currently, with Andre having pitted and giving them a lap back. Clavero moves up to 12th after his spin down at Jinsao, so that's him sorted out as well. There was like a minor stutter, I think, on the server, and I think that's also why we saw several different incidents at once and got all overexcited. But Sergio Margual is stuck in the pit lane down in 32nd position. I think he's got the same box pit as Alvarez, and they've both managed to pit together because Sergio keeps on trying to reverse and like basically bump Alvarez out the way. This needs Benny Hill music. If you can just try and slot in side by side, you might both get service together. But otherwise, I think, Sergio, you're a bit buggered, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, and I accidentally nearly screwed up my old team because I was riding Enzo Fazzi's car, Fazzi Bear's car. and I had to just quit it because apparently the stream likes me so much that I'm keeping myself for a longer period of time, as I'm gonna be here for more 2 stints, as Joe Marchese is gonna take now the Talking Door racing car, and Fazzi.
So Javier Cesares joins the track, and welcome to the race for him, down in 31st position. Eduardo Garcia is in the 32nd place car after all of that as well. Fozzie in the pits there too, but Nate Ideens haven't sorted out their problems. Just a couple on the wonderful selfies that have come in. Thank you to Shane Burke, who's just sent in a selfie with the caption, "Watching my Simtech car being caught," #RDLMS, and it's him with a massive thumbs down in the middle of the screen. So yes, sad times ahead. James Wilson, though, into the pits, and that was kind of what he was saying there, that he has to pit at some time. I didn't realise it was going to be that soon, but if he keeps up that pace, he was still closing in at about a second a lap. We'll see just how much that is affected by fuel and tyres once he's back out again. And then we'll see the true paces side by side of Andre and Wilson. And Sahanuk has also gotten up to 3rd at the moment with all of these pit stops going on. So RGPL still not necessarily out of the hunt, and still with Pablo Flores not too far behind there either for Comet. So plenty of strategy, I think, starting to unfold in this middle phase of the race, or first part of the middle phase of the race, I guess. Do you have more insight into that, Lorenzo? Because I must admit that I'm a bit naive when it comes to strategy for this specific race.
The strategy is I'm going to say this more as a driver perspective, of course. But you want to carry out your stint as long as possible. If you can carry your stint for at least an hour, place your stint for 1 hour, 1 full hour of tires and fuel, and manage to save tires in a very consistent fashion and just change them on the second pit stop. That's already really good. I think the one who has the better tactic over here right now, the better stints, is probably James Wilson. James Wilson's car has been really good, and he's managing to keep his car for longer time, longer durations. Both him and Adam Hodgkins have managed to do it. But they're keeping for a longer stint of period, a relative period. So that might implicate they only gonna have to do one last stop than the other teams in the front. How that is going to play out, that remains to be seen, but it's going to be really interesting to see how that is going to play out.
And what I didn't realise actually was the difference. I didn't realise all of the different compounds of tyres and so on and so forth that kind of play into that too. And driver, obviously, personality and style and things like that. So there's so many different permutations that you can have. So it's great to have everything all popping up, so on and so forth. So we're going to announce a short break here. We'll be back in just a few seconds after this quick message, courtesy of Davey.
All right, we are back with the Vesaro RaceDepartment Le Mans series with the Thrustmaster 12 Hours of Interlagos. My name is not Simon Smith. My name is Lorenzo Bonder. I'm with the real Simon Smith on my side, not actually my side, but virtually on my side. I guess, if you can say.
I was going to go Nationwide is on your side, but that's not the sponsor for this event.
The sponsors for this event, this race is brought to you by Vesaro and Thrustmaster, as Vesaro is a main league sponsor, and this round is brought to you by Thrustmaster. As you guys can see the name of the race and the league itself. But well, we are nearly 4 hours into this race. We are approaching the 4-hour mark, and in first place we have Enric Andre from Thrillers Motorsport, and someone saying this sounds like Black and Decker. I'm gonna have to quite agree. I swear to God, I'm gonna start name Thriller brand names really soon.
They also have the same colours as well. I just noticed that.
Yeah, even though they are using orange and Black and Decker uses yellow.
Oh, not over here. Over in the UK, it's orange and black.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So in second place, we have Kevin Ryan from Syntac International. Third place go to Matej Suhanak from our Team RGPL. Fourth place go to Pablo Flores from Team Comet. Fifth place goes to James Wilson on Atlantic Motorsport. Sixth place goes to Eduardo Rincon in the team World of Sim Racing team. Seventh place goes to Shen Wittenburn this Sloot in the Syntac International, and is closing down on Rincon in seventh. Eighth place goes to Maciej Mayonak, and he's in eighth place. The ninth place goes to Roberto Di Filippi's on the Scania Endurance Motorsport. 10th place goes to Alex Schwartz, our very own Stampy and graphics designer. Alex Schwartz is in 10th place. The little note, all the graphics that you guys are seeing, the spotter guide and some other stuff, we have to give props to Mr. Schwartz over here. And that's your top 10 for the prototypes. Then we go into the top 10 on the GT cars. First place goes to Lasse Ugard, or I'm gonna get that name right one day. He's driving for Team 001, the Triple Bit Racing. Is in first place. Second place goes to Mike Reitzer on the All-Star Racing team. He's in second. Alex Arcella for MK Simsport is in third. Marko Sedlacek from Team RGPL's endurance team. He's in fourth. Fifth place goes to Alvaro Baker. He's currently driving the RC Motorsports team. Sixth place goes to Christian Moreau. He's from Racers in Pajamas. Seventh place goes to Joseph Wright from 10XL Racing. Eighth place goes to Ole Marius Mirvold. Ninth place goes to Claudio Barrera. And to finalize your top 10 is Matt Horst from Redship Racing. I have a little bit of emotion with back marker M3. I think that M3 is from Javier Casares. Yeah, that's right. And ooh, oh boy, we have a little bit of an incident crash with Matt Horst. The commentator's curse comes again. Comes to fruition once again. I gotta stop saying names.
He's crashed where?
I need to stop saying names because Matt Horst just got himself into a big incident on the Bico de Mato, and with two other GT cars and nearly involved other prototype cars, but race goes on, people, and there's nothing they can do about it. There's still a whole lot of racing left into this session. And Simon, do you see anything interesting on the track thus far?
There's always something interesting going on the track. So I guess for me, there's a few kind of hidden things that are going on at the moment. So a quick shout to what's going on for 6th and 7th at the moment. So Eduardo Rincon is still just ahead of Sherwin Vandersloot. Those two have been nose to tail for quite a long time. They've now got a couple of seconds between them, so the Simtech International team being slightly trailed now, or trailing slightly Eduardo. So they're kind of getting a little bit more stalematey over time. So the World of Sim Racing team's keeping bay at that, so that's good. We also have a couple of other kind of clusters of cars, but not necessarily in a big old battle at the moment, as Andre is back in the pits. That's really quick. That, like, ridiculously quick. He's only been in that car for about 15 minutes. He shouldn't be in the pits now, and that could very well mean a change for the lead. In fact, here comes Kevin Ryan for Simtech coming around now. I wonder if he hit some damage or got some problems or something like that, but he's now exiting the pits. But Kevin Ryan does indeed take the lead for Simtech down into the Center S for turn 1. Andre's going to be out in P2 because Sir Hannock is way all back in P3, some 40 seconds back. But I don't think Kevin Ryan is quite at the same pace necessarily as Enrique Andre. So I think we've just set ourselves up for a lead battle because I can see first and second in the same screen.
Yes, and about the team of Enrique Andre, I need to see what happened because that's too short of a stint to Enrique to do a pit stop. So it remains to be seen what happened to Enrique. I'm gonna grab that information and take a look. You keep on going over here, and I'll keep going over there.
No problem. I was going to make an awful joke about splitting up and going our separate ways, but then I realised we're not really together. Thank you very much to Daniel for the latest of the selfies coming in, and I am mega jealous because that's the first selfie that has more than one monitor in. He has a dual monitor, and that makes me very jealous on the inside. So thank you very much, Daniel, for that. So the leader has pit there, Simtech Motorsport. Thank you very much for asking that. He has, which is why Kevin Ryan now leads. So, we're all still doing well here. But 6.8 seconds is the gap between Kevin Ryan and Enrique Andre. I'll keep a beady eye on that to see whether or not that starts to come up or down, because that is going to very much decide what's going on. We have problems though from Michael Reiter. In the All-Stars car, he is now showing as DNF'd because he's had a problem with being in the garage. So once again, another driver swap problem, another issue with this. It's really causing us some problems. Ignacio Hortel has now got into
Okay.
Okay.
Here goes. Let me tell you what happened, everyone. To Team Drillers Motorsport. They got involved in an incident, an avoidable incident.